Hey guys, thanks for listening. You'll notice once you get into episode 5, we did some stuff in between 4 and 5 that the audio, I guess, either didn't get recorded or got corrupted. So, sadly, all of that was missed. You didn't miss a whole lot. There was a couple interactions. We're going to sit here and kind of discuss it to catch you guys up before we get into episode 5. That way you're, not wondering what the fuck just happened. So, at the end of episode 4, me and Mike's character were getting ready to travel to, what was the name of the town again? Harrowdale. To do something that he had to deal with.
Just some backstory stuff. I mean, it really didn't miss a whole lot of stuff.
How did Brendan giving you guys the errand to run north yet? Let's talk about that.
So, I mean, it was literally, I think, we just went to where Jasper grew up. The ruins. Jasper burned the place down. Killed his mother figure.
Adoptive.
Slaver, if you will.
Slaver.
Yeah, slaver, if you will. We really didn't miss a whole lot. I mean, I guess just the kind of the character, the character connection between Jasper and Jack, really. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much all that was missed out there.
Yeah, I mean, that developed quite a bit. Jack gave him his space, kind of helped out where he needed. Then I think after that we traveled back.
Yeah, we went back to Ash Benford after that. And then we hooked up with the group, and I think that's when we were given the.
I don't remember exactly what everybody else did, but if they remember, they can fill you in.
I know Drew Garbage was. I think that's when he started becoming the rock star in Ash and Benford.
Wait, was that when he did his watches to try and find the thief?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a thief going around stealing health potions.
Various medical items and other things like that.
I helped out Garbage as well.
And then you let the guy go.
I ended up letting the guy go.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know.
I think all I did was shopping and talking to deities.
He got drunk at a bar.
Yeah, Zon took quite a bit of a backseat for that section of the episode.
I think I even gave the guy a gold piece.
You did. You gave him a gold piece. But a lot of it was shopping, and then we went back to Adrendon.
Yes. So the players returned to Adrendon at some point, and she told them that they needed to find her friend Gus, or Augustus. Upon telling them this, she told them the rumors she'd heard about his location and that they needed to head north into, I believe it is the Vast. And she told them whereabouts to look. And they traveled there and were met by some guards of his and escorted there. Once they got there, they were escorted to his tent, relieved of their weapons, and upon entering, that is where the next episode picks up.
I do remember along the way my the carriage wheel broke.
Oh yeah.
And we learned the rules to Tensor's floating disc.
Yeah, we learned the rules to Tensor's floating disc, and we started to walk away from it.
A few of us stayed back to try to fix it.
Yeah, then we eventually went back
Credit
to
to
fix
those
it.
guys.
Yeah, we were just gonna leave it. It was relatively cheap. Yeah, and then we got up there, and episode 5 will start shortly. Again, we apologize for this. So far, it hasn't happened again, but we're just a couple guys sitting in a basement playing D&D.
Legitly, like if y'all could see the computer that we got, it's just like a motherboard duct taped to the bottom of a table.
You don't want to see what kind of Frankenstein stuff we've had to do.
It's got just enough power for recording.
And with all that being said, I believe that wraps up
what would be episode 5.
What would be episode 5. Please do enjoy the improved audio and video of episode 5 upon its release.
Oh yeah, and look for us on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, you should be able to find Vice and Valor.
Yep.
You can catch us on Facebook.
Vice and Valor D&D on
And-
Facebook, YouTube, and podcast. Any
Podcast,
podcasting
yeah.
app, just
Yeah.
give us a search.
Don't forget to like and subscribe too.
Yeah.
Oh, and hit the notification button.
Yeah, hit the notification.
so that you can nerd out with us.
Yeah. We do release weekly on Friday, so we won't be blowing up your notification feeds. It'll be a once a week thing. So thank you guys very much for listening and enjoy episode 5.
And as usual, we are Vice and Valor, and we'll see you next time.
And share the shit out of it.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Gabe, your DM.
I'm Brian. I play Jack Hoffman, a Videlkin artificer.
I'm Jason. I play human paladin, Zan the Avenger.
I'm Andrew. I play a half-orc bard by the name of Garbage.
I am Zach. I play Bran Brightwood, a human necromancer.
I'm Mike. I play Jasper, the Human Ranger.
So, last time our players found themselves being escorted to a encampment of orcs, where they were brought up to the main tent of the camp and asked to relieve all of their weapons, which they did so, as far as we know. Dun, dun. And that's what we'll pick up at. So, you guys just relieved all your weapons, and you were being led into the tent by a pair of orcs. As you walk in, you'll find yourself in a very large rectangular tent with the red canvas. That's what it's made out of. In front of you, it's all open space down to the back, and there's 6 braziers, 3 on each side, spaced out fairly evenly. The lighting is fairly dim. You can't see to the other end of it, dark vision or not. At the other end, you can see the silhouette of a handful of people off to one side of a main throne, you would say. And off to the other side, a smaller personage and a smaller chair. As you enter, one of the orcs that led you in will bark out. Behold now, you stand before Orden the Undying, Devourer of Legions. Show your due respects. As he says this, the assumed Orden stands up. At a towering 8 feet tall, he approaches you, coming into the light. And I'll address you as such. What brings you people into my land armed? An impressive monstrosity. Pretty long tusks. Again, 8 feet tall, just shredded to the nines. Mottled gray-green skin. Wearing nothing but a, something like a kilt. What brings you here?
So a big ass tusked orc in a skirt.
Yeah. Fuck. Shredded.
Oh, shredded orc in
Shredded
a
orc.
skirt.
In a skirt.
That's hot. Jasper's gonna ask him if he's the chieftain of this village.
I am. I keep watch over these people and they over me.
Jasper will go down to one knee and bow his head. And he's going to say, Jasper will drop to his knee and he'll go, Chieftain, we are in search of a man with great knowledge. There's a plague that is ravishing the Dale lands as we speak. And if we don't find this dragon slayer, we fear that the plague may enter your territory, and we need to find this man to stop the plague.
I'll well, I'm afraid a plague, if you would, already reached our territory. It was only by the grace of the dragon slayer that my people were spared. And you'll see in the shadows a humanoid stand up and come to the light. They'll come into the light and you'll see a pretty average-looking human. Brown cloak, black hair, pretty average build. Nothing spectacular about this person. And they'll approach and say, I am the Dragon Slayer. I am Augustus Eldrius. but you can call me Gus. Who sent you here?
What was her name? Adrinden. I will say Dr. Adrinden sent us looking for you. She said that you had the knowledge that could possibly help us stop the plague, and obviously, from what the chieftain just said, you can. I need you to come with me.
Oh, Adrinden, she's an old friend. I think I can help you. Do tell though, what is the nature of this plague? Not all are the same, as I'm sure you know.
Our people are getting sick and dying in the streets. Adrinden is not sure exactly what it is. But she is wholeheartedly believing that once you see it, you will know what it is and how to cure it.
You guys sit there. I believe I can help you. And then Warden will kind of interrupt him and be like, "Well, I'm afraid there's an issue here. You know our names, but I do not know yours."
Jasper will. I mean, he's still on his knee, so he'll bow his head and he'll say, I am Jasper.
Well met, Jasper. And he'll kind of give you a little nod.
I'll step forward and say, I am Jack.
I've never encountered someone like you, Blue Man. What are you?
We are called the Delkin.
Interesting. And he'll kind of lean over and whisper to the Dragon Slayer a little bit and be like, and he'll look to you next.
Step out of the light.
As he looks to you, you'll see something across his face change and then go away as quickly as it came.
The name's Zan.
Well met, Zan.
Gar will more or less just kind of bow prostrate to him. Just full on idol worship him at this point.
You'll hear a approving grunt as you do this.
And Great Orden, I am Garbage. It is an honor to meet you.
He'll kind of slap his fist with just, well met, Garbage.
And who are you, good sir?
I am Rand Brightwood.
Well met, all of you. I must say it's rare for a group to encounter my orcs such as you did and take the passive approach. I appreciate you not attacking them for what could be perceived as no reason. Obviously, you are somewhat familiar with the Dragon Slayer. We consider him a good friend around these parts. I would like to extend the hand of hospitality and extend his massive hand and invite you to stay and enjoy a feast with us before you set out.
I say it would be an honor.
Jasper will stand up and say, it's an honor.
After all of your approval, he'll snap, and you'll see hurriedly from the dark corners of the tent about a dozen people start hustling about, bringing out tables, chairs, platters. You'll see that this feast was already prepared, most likely regardless of your presence or not. Roast pig and other varieties of animals, steamed vegetables, just a full feast. Flagons of mead, and you see barrels just sitting off the side ready to go. You would have noticed as these people came out that there was more people standing around the outside edge, about another dozen. It seemed an odd spacing of every other was a larger, more muscular orc, and the ones in between them were kind of smaller, lankier, wearing strange garb, feathered headdresses, kind of things like that. You would notice that they are mumbling to themselves. The rest of you can't hear it, but you hear that they are mumbling this whole time.
Are they? What are they? They're probably speaking Orcish, right?
Yes. You can hear from the intonations that it's chanting.
The whole entire time, I'm eyeball fucking this guy.
Okay. He kind of passes you some side glances as this happens, because he kind of sees you eye fucking him. As all the tables and stuff are brought out, you notice these people don't seem to be equals among this tent. It's kind of a variety of races as well. Humans, there's dwarf, there's a couple elves. In particular, an elvish woman is among the mix. Jasper would recognize her,
Like instantly.
like instantly, I have to imagine. However, there is no there's no recognition back, but you would recognize Neslin among the group. Obviously, none of the rest of you would. But they're all just going about their business. They're wearing kind of dingy clothes. They all have a like a brass collar on. It's not like tight or anything, but it's there, and it doesn't seem like it's removable. But they kind of get the tables laid out and disappear back into the edges. And Orton takes a seat at the head of the table and invites you all to sit down. Down one side of the table, you'll notice about 7 orc women sit down off to his one side, assumedly wives, and a few other orcs, a few that look fairly old, people of honor, assumedly all sit about the table and kind of start feasting.
I do not.
You don't sit?
I stand and I do not sit down. I do not partake in food. I do not do anything.
I will actually look over and say, I think it is very rude of you to stay standing. I say it quietly.
Your standing was noticed. Orton seems unhappy, but he hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, but so quietly I'll say, you need to sit down. This is not the time to be rude. We have a quest to accomplish. Whatever problems you have with the orcs. Or I'm just saying, what I'm not going to say orcs. Say whatever problems you have, you need to stifle them for the moment.
You just worry about yourself. I'm gonna go straight back to eyeball fucking this guy.
As you go back to eye fucking him, you would notice you're getting reverse eye fucked by an 8-foot tall orc. Are you still standing?
There's so much eye fucking and so much reverse eye fucking. I don't know what to do.
This is eye fucking orgy. So
I'm not a part of that. Me either. 8-foot tall orc. I'm good. I'm gonna eat the food, chill. Everything's going good.
That's right.
If everything is proportionate, I'm terrified.
Hey, did I ever look up? What's that? Did I ever see?
So yes, as you're sitting about the table, you'll notice they brought out better lighting for the table, set candles out, and you'll see all around the top of the tent a variety of shields and banners, some damaged, some look relatively new, varieties of symbols. There's a shield with a manticore on it, banners with ravens, just all kinds of different things. Bran Brightwood would recognize a good chunk of them for what they were. No need to get into it. But you would recognize a variety of the banners and the houses and who they belong to, more or less. You would recognize a few as well, but specifically the manticore.
You guys would notice, since I don't have my cloak on at all, I have manticores imprinted in the armor I wear.
So at this uncomfortably long amount of time that you've been standing, all the other orcs at the table have stopped, and they are just alternating between watching him and watching you. And he's just kind of fuming.
Jasper's gonna go on. Sit.
Zan's gonna glance around the room. He's gonna think for a few seconds. He's gonna sit down. But he kind of wants to stay a little way, like distance from the table.
So you're sitting awkwardly, like...
I would... Nah, he just sit at the table.
Jasper is gonna go on. You need to be respectful here now. If this goes sideways and it's your fault, I'm gonna skull fuck you.
I look to Orden and I say, I apologize.
He puts a hand up and stops you. What is your problem, boy? Is my table not good enough for you? And he'll kind of slam his fist on the table. And if the silence could get denser, it did.
I merely look up.
Has this coward lost his tongue? He looks to Jasper.
Gar will stand up, and he will... Great one. Ignore this one. He does not eat meat.
There are plenty of other options available. Do you require your friends to speak for you, boy?
It's fine. I'm curious about one thing in your tent.
You are my guest. Ask away.
I look up and point at the shield. And I go, where did you get that one?
They'll kind of sit back. Long ago, before many of you were born, there was, I'm sure if you're learned on your histories, there was a war. There was wars between the orcs and the people of the lower lands. This shield was merely a token from some army that we conquered during that time.
You don't know where or who you slaughtered to get it?
It is war, child. It's your job at the time. It's not a matter of personal business.
Jasper's going to go, all of these are trophies of war?
All. And there's probably 24 shields and pennants hung from the ceiling. We orcs do not take that which we have not earned. Every one of these represents a single victory on the field.
Jasper's going to look at Zahn, and he's going to look real forceful, and he was going to say, in this man's house, you will show him respect, or you will lose the respect of me and every other person at this table.
You'll hear some grunted, like, or like of the people sitting around the table that aren't you guys, obviously.
I give a sideways glance at Jasper and started looking around.
The rest of you are fairly pleasant, I must say. I didn't expect you to keep such disrespectful company. They'll just kind of like fucking sneer at you. And then he'll start eating. At this point, the human, Gus, seated himself on the left hand of Orden. It's a seat of honor in their house. The whole one side of the table is all women. You're all seated down the other. But and he'll kind of lean over to whoever's nearest. I guess we don't need to go over a seating chart, but he'll lean over to whoever's nearest and says, how long have you, and he'll kind of speak to all of you, how long have you guys known Adrinden?
How long has it been?
It's like 2 weeks to get up there, so
It's been a couple
maybe
months.
3 weeks.
It's been a
He's our
few
timekeeper.
months.
It's been a few months. I
Yeah, a couple months.
Jasper's going to say, well, I'm not 100% sure of the rest of my group, but I was a little short on funds and I needed a job. And I took it, and that's how I met Adrinden. We needed to go, the hell's the name of that place called? The cavern.
For a few weeks.
Oh, the
Underdark.
The Underdark. We had to go into the Underdark and save Adrinden from herself.
and he'll kind of chuckle, and I can relate to that.
So it's been a few months since we first met her. I personally don't know her all that well. Really, it's a job for me.
And there's nothing wrong with that. She's a good lady, and she would take care of you if she found you in need. I merely kind of wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything going on to her that would be harmful to her. She, like I said, she is an old and a dear friend. But after the meal, we can either most likely stay for the night or be right on the road. That is up to you gentlemen. But I am more than willing to come help you with this, especially if it means helping her.
What's that guy's name again?
Augustus. I would stay the night and then head out in the morning because there's no.
I really don't take my eyes off of Neslin, and I will say I will gladly stay the evening in this Great Chieftain's Hall.
Yeah, so he's offering us a place to stay.
Well, this is just Augustus kind of talking to you guys about it. He said, like, most likely you would be offered an invitation to stay.
Okay. I don't think I would bring it up to the chieftain. I would let him kind of bring that up. Because if it wasn't brought up, then I would set up camp.
Well, I would think if Augustus was sitting on his left, I think he's
overhearing.
Augustus is a pretty powerful dude here.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I would say I will stay.
And then he'll kind of look back, kind of look at Orden, who's busy just tearing it up, eating chicken by the whole leg, drinking flagons at a time, just ripping it. He'll be like, I don't know how familiar you guys, and I'll kind of be speaking quietly. Everyone seems busy, but I don't know how familiar you guys are with Orcish customs, but turning down invitations it can be considered very disrespectful. And he kind of looks back at Orden. I don't know if you've gauged it from him, but this is not the person to disrespect, especially in his own home.
I can tell.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Gar is doing his best to match Orden round for round on his drink and his food, just nonstop.
And he'll kind of. So as you're going for it, Orden will look up. Miss Gar, I challenge you, sir, to a drinking and eating contest. One as voracious as yourself surely could pose a great challenge. And everyone in the room will kind of.
Gar will stand up.
And he'll snap his fingers again, and the servants will come back out and bring out more platters and put them down specifically in front of you and kind of refill the empty plates and all that. Again, I'll be like, a good gathering, a good feast is capitalized on music. They'll snap again, and 4 goblins will come into the tent at this point. And they've got some little lutes, some little flutes, and they'll just kind of strum up a nice little tune and kind of just some nice music while all this is going on. Roll Constitution.
Ooh, first dice roll.
21.
And you are just putting it away, keeping pace with Orden as it's going on. As the servants are bringing stuff about, you'll notice kind of an unusually their faces are unusually like composed, like blank. They don't seem to be betraying any emotions, no reactions to seeing any of you. They're just kind of doing their job, and they seem content to do it.
Out of character, Mike, did you tell me that you were looking for her? I can't remember. That you were looking for a elf girl?
Yeah, I've made mention of it several times.
There's no details. That's the only problem.
The question is would I have noticed him staring at her?
That's a great question.
Because you said that you wouldn't have taken your eyes off of her, right?
Yeah.
So, it's curious.
Yes. And if I know you would probably be looking for it, you would notice it because you notice everything. So you would notice it. Gar is just way too busy to notice it, and Zahn is too busy brooding to notice. You two would notice that he seems to be staring. Eye fucking, if you would.
I would lean to Jasper and ask him if everything's okay.
Jasper will just say now's not the time.
I'm gonna walk up to him, or lean next to him if I'm next to him, and kind of say, I noticed you're staring at that elf girl. Is that the one you were looking for?
I'll say, Jack, now is really not the time to talk about this. I will definitely talk to you about it later. Because I may need your help.
You have my help in an instant, no matter what it is.
Gar, roll Constitution.
$13.
An Orden will stop eating. It'll look at you still just plowing, and it'll be like, I like you, my friend. I am afraid I am beaten this competition. There is a reward for you, and it will be delivered to you on your exit. What do you desire?
Gar will stop and think for a minute. And he'll look at one of the big hogs on a spit. I'd take that go.
Jasper's gonna look at him like almost urgency on his face, and he's just gonna just eyeball you down. You're not smart, so you wouldn't catch it.
I would actually lean over to him and say, now might be the time to bring it up, for he has had a few drinks. Would I know that that's a slave collar?
Between them all wearing collars and they're kind of wearing the same kind of dingy garb.
And I'm pretty
they were
intelligent.
bringing stuff out. Yeah, you would be able to put together that these were slaves, and she was among them.
She is wearing the collar of a slave. Maybe a deal can be struck.
I know.
So while this conversation's been going on, Orden's just kind of scanning the table, chatting with Gus, his wife, kind of scanning the table, and he'll look at you. You seem interested in one of my slaves. What about them interest you? He'll snap, and she will walk up to the table and stand Orden's side. Fetch me a drink, girl, and he'll snap because he just loves to snap. And she will go and fetch a drink and come right back.
Jasper's just gonna tell Odin, or is it Orden? Orden.
I like Odin as a name, but
Yeah.
Orden.
That's because this guy made
It
it.
was definitely a song.
He's just gonna tell Orden that I just think she's strikingly beautiful.
He'll kind of look at her. I'll look at you. Well, I'm afraid I don't share your tastes, my friend, but these slaves are quite interesting. Watch this. He'll kind of like get a little excited. He'll snap and do a couple little hand things, and they will line up in a straight line. He'll do another hand thing, and they will stack up in a pyramid. He'll do another little hand thing, and they'll go back to a straight line. These slaves I purchased from a rare source. It's a very exclusive seller, but they are loyal to a fault. It is beyond anything I have ever seen. But the cost was great, but I would say worth it. And they'll kind of wave, and they'll all go back to their corners.
Jasper's just gonna kind of get a hearty look and start laughing. And he's gonna clap. He's just gonna go, that is the best thing I have ever seen.
Should he roll deception on that one?
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. Where'd it go?
5 down.
11.
I'll kind of look at you. He's like, if you think that was great, watch this. And he'll wave Neslin back over and smack her upside the head, and she doesn't even flinch, doesn't move a muscle, and he waves her away. Loyal to a fault.
Well, you would physically see Jasper get a little tense. Now, whether he catches it,
Or it
That's
doesn't
the
catch it.
question.
He's pretty broad. He's pretty enveloped in the liveliness of the event.
Jasper's gonna go, you hit her hard. And she didn't even make a face.
Not even flinched, my friend. It's like I said, it's beyond anything I have ever seen.
How does that even work? Your hand is the size of a platter.
And he'll palm a platter and be like, ha ha ha. Yes, it is. As I said, beyond anything I've seen, it's magical. You would notice Gus got noticeably uncomfortable when he hit her.
Jasper will he'll go back to eating.
And the meal will kind of go on. Gus will kind of chitter chat with you guys. He's just kind of chatting with everybody, and then it kind of seems like the meal's coming to a close, or we'll kind of wave for everybody's attention. Any good feast ends with a contest, my friends. And what better contest than one of strength? Then he'll fucking brandish his 2-foot muscle.
I'm out.
So much.
Who is interested in a contest of strength, arm wrestling? And he'll slam his elbow on the table and knock a bunch of plates away, and be sitting there, and he'll be kind of looking at you guys.
Jasper will stand up and look at him, and Jasper will he will say, "Orden the Conqueror. I am not the strongest person on the face of the planet by any means, but I never back down from a challenge. I accept your challenge."
And I respect that. Have a seat. And he'll gesture to the seat next to him.
I sit down. I'm about to get fucked up, just so you guys know.
He'll kind of wave over one of the little goblin minstrels. He'll come over and set your guys' hands and everything, and get ready to roll.
He is getting ready. Gar is going to walk over and whisper, "If a human could beat Orden, that would be epic. I have faith in you." Bardic Inspiration.
What am I rolling? Strength?
Strength.
What do I get for strength?
Add a D8. So, yep.
$15.
So on the denotion of being transparent, 25. So he will take your hand and into the table and actually crack the table a little bit. And he'll kind of, ha ha ha. Now I won, but I respect your tenacity, sir. Have another drink, and they'll kind of pass you another. We'll take somebody's tankard and pass it to you.
I accept it.
I would actually approach Orden at some point where it seems appropriate and say, Orden, I've been traveling these lands for 15 years looking for interesting magic. Your name is, what was it, Orden the Undying? The rumors that sent us up here said that you were over 150 years old. I was just curious about that, if you're willing to speak upon it. If not, I apologize for being so forward.
He'll do a big ha 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 belly laugh, and he'll be like, look all of you to the ceiling again, and he'll point to all the banners. Each of these was taken by me. These were taken by my hand personally. Now, each of these is, and he'll kind of go through and be like, this one's from this war 30 years ago, 50 years ago. The rumors you hear are true. I am 150 years old. I fought in the Orc Wars. I watched my people die, and I led them to what ultimately ended in a defeat. And he'll kind of hang his head a little. And he said, but each of these represents a different fight that we won. And for my people, I cannot feel enough pride. However, each of these taught a lesson as well. Kind of looked at all of you. War, be that as it may get you honor and glory, but it does not lead you to a life of peace and plenty, which after all of these wars and battles is what I seek to lead my people to now. I want them to thrive in an environment very much unlike what I grew up in. I watched my family die many years ago during the Orc Wars. A human raid slaughtered everybody in the village. We had nothing to do with their quarrel, but because we were lumped in with everyone else as orcs, they slaughtered us all the same, which is what set us on this path of vengeance. Which vengeance, sir, and he'll kind of look over at you, as I'm sure is sulking. It's a double-edged sword. But it has taught the lesson. I do not want that life for my people, and that is why you were not attacked when they found you in our lands armed. That is why we seek a peaceful life. And he'll kind of finish.
And I would say, well, your people accepted me and invited me in faster than any other people I have met before, so you have my loyalty if necessary.
To the blue man! He'll shout.
I am blue.
Is anybody else gonna arm wrestle this guy?
I'll give it a shot. And then I'll put my arm down and be like, I'll give it a shot.
So when he puts his arm down, I'm gonna kind of walk up to Gus and I'm gonna say, Gus, what's the story with the slaves here?
And they'll kind of look.
I could tell you were not very happy when Orden slapped the shit out of that elf girl.
While slavery is a not uncommon custom, it is not one I've found much pleasure, and I find it to be fairly despicable to treat someone as so. However, I've also found that it's best to respect everybody's individual customs and desires as they would. But these slaves in particular are one of the reasons I came up here. They are very peculiar. It seems that some kind of magic was used on them to put them in such a state. It's something I have another interest in, but for another time, I believe.
Do you know anything of the magic that is affecting them?
As best I can tell, and in this particular environment, I'll kind of gesture to the tent. It's especially difficult to tell, but I believe it to be some kind of memory tampering.
Jasper will tell Gus that elf girl is very special to me.
He'll kind of lean intently in.
I was a slave, unbeknownst to me at one point in time. And that elf girl was a very important part of my life. And I can't promise you that I will be able to restrain myself if I ever see Orden slap her again.
And he'll kind of...
No, I want to respect this man's home. And I understand that you have a bond with him, but I want to be honest with you. I don't want to like threaten the dude's life. You know what I mean? I mean, he's 150 years old. There's something keeping the dude alive a long time.
just a little bit. Something. Yeah.
Something's got to be keeping him alive. But like, that's just where I go. Like, I want to kill the dude in his sleep because I know I can't just walk up and like fuck him up.
Me too.
So Jasper's going to ask him what he thinks I would be able to do to get Orden to let her go.
I'll kind of look and be like, well, I've heard what he paid for these slaves, and I will tell you that extravagant is not quite the right word for it. The price is frankly absurd. However, from a third-party standpoint, They are the perfect servants. Now, if you wish to procure one from Orden, the best advice I could offer, pay for it. This is not a place to start a fight. They keep heavy watch throughout their whole camp, day in, day out. Being orcs in a region so close to more, races that aren't accustomed to them, they are ready for an attack at any point at any time. The fighting or trying to sneak your way through the camp. I will tell you, this tent, for instance, this is not my magic. This is theirs. They are quite powerful. Buy her. If you wish to set her free, pay for it.
How much gold do you have?
Jasper will look at Gus. Jasper will look at Gus and he'll bow his head and he'll say, I appreciate your time.
I'm afraid I couldn't give you more forgiving news. I see that this pains you greatly, and I am sorry.
And Jasper will go back to the festivities. Watch his buddy get fucked up in an arm wrestling contest.
At this point, Orden seems somewhat drunk. He's a little loosey goosey for an 8-foot tall shredded orc. All right, Blue Man, the time has come. Show me what you're made of. And he'll throw his arm up.
I'll put my arm in. Super confident.
And the little goblin will come in and kind of set your arms and your elbows, make sure everything's kosher, and then roll strength.
How tall is your character? How tall is it?
Dude, I arm wrestled him.
Oh,
I'm like 5'11". Like
close
he
enough
was
to
like
6.
this,
So-
and he just grabbed me by my body.
I-
like thump.
I do want to say that my first roll of the night was a crit. However, it was a crit miss.
Oh, I'll save you a little heart. It's an ability check, so you can't crit miss it. But
Bring it on.
it's gonna be bad.
Well, I mean, I have a
Yeah.
-1 to strength, so technically it's a 0.
You break an arm.
he just tossed you like a rag doll.
So Orden rolled a 21, if you were wondering.
I was wondering.
But he'll take your hand and he'll squeeze it tight, and on the signal, boom! And in similar fashion to Jasper, the table will crack, and you will feel something pop in your arm.
Ooh.
You feel that perhaps your elbow is dislocated.
Ooh.
Okay.
So what that means, you're looking at a week, 2 weeks cure time without any outside intervention. Like if you just kind of baby it for a couple weeks, will be okay.
Just so you know.
Can I roll a medicine to try and pop it back into place real quick?
Yes. After seeing that he hurried Orden will apologize, my friend, I am sorry. It's like this was merely meant to be a harmless contest. I apologize that I hurt you so, and he'll snap. And one of the kind of goofy looking orcs will come out and is wearing a bright red robe, feathers, a little bit of scales, just a really strange looking garb. He'll come and put his hands on your elbow, and fix it.
I will look up at Orden and say, it was all in fun. I knew this going into it. I'm not the strongest person. I focus more upon speed, but I wanted to participate because it seemed fun.
And I apologize you got hurt again. I would never willingly or knowingly hurt a guest in my house.
We'll drink to it.
And everyone else in the room.
Brand says he'll give it a try.
Test your metal, sir. And Orden's pretty sloshed. It seems like there's a couple barrels sitting behind his chair, and he's ready to go. And the goblin will come up and set your hands and elbows. Strength.
Nice.
17.
Rolled a 26. So in what appears to be a little more of a contest, it's not quite a slam dunk to the table, but he kind of a little more gradually takes you down to the table and sets your hand against it, and it says, "You, my friend, pose a challenge, and I appreciate your entry." He'll raise his flagon again.
No, it's all four. Jasper's in the room, and everybody's raising their tankards. Jasper's just gonna go a little wild, and he's gonna jump on the table and go, Orden the Conqueror, I accepted your challenge for a feat of strength, but how about you accept my challenge for a feat of speed?
You intrigue me. Go on.
I'm assuming there's fruit and stuff on the table.
Oh, yeah. Full spread.
I'm gonna grab an apple and I'm gonna throw it up in the air, and I'm gonna catch it, and I'm going to say, will you accept my challenge to shoot an apple out of the air?
I'm afraid, sir, that I am not much of a bowman. However, I have been known to be fairly proficient with a spear, if that
That
suits your
is
challenge.
acceptable.
Right. But I do ask in this kind of challenge that we take it outside. For the safety of my people, naturally.
I agree. And Jasper's gonna say, if you can beat me at my trade, I will gladly offer my hand to your service.
You offer much, my friend. I don't know that I could accept such an offer.
If I beat you, I want to pick one of your gloriously trained slaves to be mine. I think it's a very fair trade.
And he'll ponder. I accept your offer. Let us go.
I'm gonna follow him outside. This is gonna be sweet.
Not to totally derail some shit, but
I
what's
gotta
this?
take a piss.
What's this tattoo doing?
Nothing.
I'm still serving the plague, bro.
Woo! This is going way better
Yeah,
than
dude.
I thought it was going to go.
I did too, and he was like, I'm standing here eyeball fucking him. I'm like, we're dead. We're fucking dead.
We're going to have Jason collars. Yeah.
And that's where I was at. You don't disrespect this man, because if we're gonna die today, it's only gonna be you.
Well,
So, everyone starts to kind of make their way outside. You'll see Orton kind of talk. He'll be talking to an orc approached him when they went outside. And he'll be talking to him and kind of pointing and stuff. And you'll see that orc go and start handing out orders. And orcs will come and they'll be setting up some torches in a long row. And one of them will go stand at the end. They got a little basket of apples. And they'll just be kind of getting things set up. While this is going on, Orton is going to approach Zan and throw his arm around him.
I tense up extremely.
Tell me, my friend, what weighs so heavily on your soul this night?
Would you mind if I take you a little bit away from your party?
He'll kind of take his hand off. What do you mean?
I ain't into that, bro.
am I close by?
I figure all kind of milling around in a group, and he just kind of sloppily rolled off. Hey, bud.
I'll look over, and I will say, was Zan?
Mm-hmm.
Zan, I think the most forward thing you could do without insulting him is tell him what the issue is. Straightforward.
You see, Orton, my grandfather used to wear this armor.
You would lie to me in my own home?
You're good. You're very good.
He'll put a hand on your shoulder, and he'll look at your breastplate. Long ago,
You should finish that first.
Yes, please. The audio.
It's delicious, right?
It is pretty good.
Grape is fucking great.
we're enjoying some grape stuff. We're not sponsored by everybody. That's delicious.
Please send us more money. We need it. There's a lot of truth.
Yeah, I
here.
know. It's like we're doing it. We're doing
Pop
a
the whole thing in my mouth.
Subscribe.
we're doing a podcast, and then we decide to eat the chewiest fucking candy.
We are extremely sorry. No, we're not.
Like and subscribe.
Love me.
Love me.
So, Orton will place his hand on your shoulder, and you will notice a tight grip, one you cannot pull out of. And he'll say, long ago, back before you were even a thought, and your great-grandfather's... I'll just kind of trail off because he's pretty drunk. And, like, I fought in the Orc Wars. I fought a company that, and he'll kind of grab your shirt a little bit because he's got no personal boundaries at the moment. I fought a group of humans that bore this symbol, and they were an honorable group. They fought well, they died well, and I hope that they found themselves in a more pleasant afterlife. I regret that was what was required, was to eliminate them. But I will say that at that time I bore a grudge, and I can see you bear a similar visage of having a grudge, and I will tell you it is not worth it. And he'll take his hand off you.
From what I've heard so far, Orton, we joined causes back in those days. The same thing. You came in and destroyed my land. We came in and destroyed your land. I used to be in peace.
But my friend, many don't know, but your land was our land long before you called it so.
War's gonna be war. But when you did run through those trees in the valley, tearing apart my men left and right, ripping men in half, people who I called friends, family even.
Bram Brightwood was hearing all of this.
Are they by us?
You guys are relatively close. Well, if you think you would have started listening in when they started talking, you would be hearing this.
I'm listening. Cause
Oh, I would
And
totally
you
be
were right there.
like, I'm ready to like whoop this dude's ass in Archer. So I'm kind of like,
Get on with it.
Let me kick his ass. I had no problem with you at that time, but I blame you for everything. And war has to be blamed on someone.
Blame is a child's game. War is what it is. It is a cruel thing, and it is a necessity in life. I was simply doing what was required of me, and I imagine you, he'll kind of look at you, would have done the same. And he'll walk away from you.
Maybe we should test blades then.
He'll stop. All drunkenness, gone. This is not a game you wish to play, child. And he will call you child insultingly.
I have one question before we battle.
He has a prior
He does. How have you lived so long?
I already asked that.
I don't remember.
You never answered, actually.
Well, there we go. I'm like, ow.
And that is a secret I will take to my grave.
I look over at Zan, and I say, sounds to me like you both have done horrible, horrible things. Maybe it's time to look past it, move on, and find peace.
Jasper is gonna be like stretching, standing behind Orton, like getting his bow arm ready, and he's gonna go, "How many banners do you got?"
I've been dead kind of a while.
So after Orton removed himself from the conversation, you would have noticed he is also stretching. And again, all signs of drunkenness, gone. He is 100% with you.
You're welcome.
Gar is going to go into that.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
I was like, let's go.
I'm drawing a blank as to the actual term of it.
I've been doing that a lot tonight.
I've been too.
A Knight's Tale. The guy that runs around crying out all the tournament information.
Paul Bettany, but I can't
Yes,
think of his character's
yes.
name,
I'm drawing a blank as to what he actually does.
He was like a bard, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, as we're going about,
Just have it.
I'm gonna start bringing out, for our challenger, we have Jasper taking on Orden, the Undying, Devourer of Legions, Slayer of 1,000 armies. Our competition is throwing spears at apples as they fly through the air. And just kind of make it a big show.
And at this point, a pretty large crowd has gathered all around.
Rousing
I think
performance.
somebody needs to toast.
Rousing performance. D4 for all of your next checks for attacks.
Okay. So, again, a goblin. The goblins aren't slaves, but they seem to be a repressed group among these orcs. But a goblin will come up and kind of explain the rules to say that down at the end, there'll be another goblin, and he's going to throw up a pair of apples, and you'll both go at the same time and do best out of 3 for who can actually hit their apple.
Oh, yeah, this is competition.
Mm-hmm. Everyone kind of gets ready. One bigger orc, or New York, kind of like juice each other up, and then he brings them a handful of spears and he kind of sticks them in the ground. Kind of gets ready, and Orange just sitting there getting ready. The goblin blows a horn. The other goblin throws apples. Roll to hit the apple.
$25.
So, your arrow flies true, hits the apple, and takes it off into the distance. And Orden's spear flies way clear and completely misses it. He kind of stomps around a little bit and says, on to the next round.
Jasper's gonna spin around and go, woo! Orden the Conqueror, my ass!
And all the orcs are like, boo! But, again, the goblin will come up, he'll blow his horn, and then the other goblin will throw the apples up. Roll to hit. 12. Your arrow flies right past the apple, missing
Spear.
it by a hair. His arrow.
He has an arrow.
He's shooting arrows. Orden's throwing spears.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Orden's spear flies true, and just the apple flies into pieces and sails off into the distance.
1 for 1. This is getting interesting.
And all the orcs are just losing. And it's just going crazy. The goblin blows the horn. The other one throws a pair of apples. They roll.
I try my magic.
Come on, wife's dice.
What magic?
Hmm?
What do you mean?
I try to do magic. Does it work?
You're outside of the tent.
Oh, we're outside of the
You're out.
tent?
Yeah, he said we need to go outside for safety.
Oh,
So
fuck.
you guys are just plain Jane. You are outside.
I would have totally done something then.
What are you doing?
Would I be able to approach him?
So we'll go ahead and say we haven't actually shot for the next round yet. Yes.
Okay.
We'll do. We're back there in between rounds.
How many times do I get to add this?
Every time.
Okay.
Ooh. Do we want... Would it be cheating if I buffed one of his arrows?
Probably. Probably. Oh, your head smashed in.
Okay, so I'm going to... Before this next round, I'll walk up and say, Orden. Oh, wait, no. One more round happened. Sorry.
This
last
is
round.
potentially it because they both won one.
Oh, so it's best out of 2?
This is
Best out of 3.
Best out of
This
3.
is round 3. This is
Yeah.
it.
Oh, shit. I don't know. I don't think we should cheat. Nope.
Okay.
Bad idea. We're not going to cheat. Okay, sorry. No,
Try to start
bad
a
idea. I think he needs to do this.
Go ahead. Roll to hit.
Come on, motherfucker. Fuck!
And your arrow flies clear into the distance, heavily missing the apple, and once again, Orden's spear strikes true and blows the apple into pieces. And the crowd goes crazy, and everyone's cheering and chanting, and blah, blah, blah. And Orden approaches you. He says, my friend, I appreciate your contest. However, I will not accept your offer. I want you to leave here as you came. I appreciate the contest, but like I said, I will not accept your offer.
Do I know what that offer was?
I imagine it would have been a pretty.
Yeah. He said he jumped
Everyone
on
in
the
the room would
table.
have kind of heard what was going on.
He jumped on the table and said it aloud.
Yeah, he made quite the spectacle out of it.
The
Actually,
question is do we all see? Would Jasper be physically like saddened, like motion saddened?
He'll be really mad, kind of like I am right now.
I would.
Now, will we see like through the whole time the tent and all that? Will we see he really wants this?
you, like I said, you were too busy being skulky to notice that he was staring at one of the slaves. But these two would have noticed, and Gar was too busy eating to notice that. But you would notice he seems pretty sad about losing.
I will walk up to Jasper, and I will say, I think maybe this is a time to be a little more straightforward. Maybe we should try the route that was suggested to you.
Jasper will nod.
If anything else, it gives us an amount to work up to.
Jasper will walk up to Orden and I'm like, Jasper's like sulky, dude. Like he can't believe he lost to a fucking orc.
Total aside, straight up rolls did not fudge nothing.
And he's gonna say, Orden, I appreciate you not pulling me into your encampment. Even though I would graciously do it. To be able to say that I work for a man, an orc, such as yourself, would be an honor all by itself. But I want to know what you want for that elf girl.
And he'll stop. I see that this is... You thought I might not have noticed you staring at her. I see this as something important to you, but as I said before, they were extravagantly expensive. 10,000 gold, and she is yours. They are slaves. They are bought and sold. If you pay the price, she is yours.
I don't want them all.
No. Not all of them. Just her.
Is there a deed that I could do for you in place of 10,000 gold? I myself am not an esteemed conqueror such as yourself.
Well,
That kind of riches I could never accomplish myself in a lifetime.
it'll look at you. I could perhaps lower the price, but I ask a favor, not just of you, but of all of you. Go, when you leave this place, speak well of us. Tell the people of these lands that we don't mean them harm. We simply wish to lead our lives in the same way they do. We are not here for warring and raiding purposes. We are here just to live.
Time.
I'm sorry. I'd interrupt you.
Good.
On that, actually, Jack would step forward and say, Orden, the price for completing this quest puts us in a position to get on the Council of the Dale Lands, so we could absolutely do that for you. I give you my word.
I didn't even think about that.
I give you my word that we will put in a good name for you and make sure you are allowed to join the trade routes of the Dale Lands.
That is a greater favor than I could have ever asked. If you follow through with this, she will be yours, sir. And I will do whatever I can for you people, because this means a great deal to me. As I've said, I want a good life for my people, and being isolated in the fashion that orcs tend to have to be is not a not the best possible life I could give my people.
What's the name of the town we're getting again? Peloton Town. I will.
We weren't told the name of it.
Oh, we weren't.
No,
You weren't?
no.
Okay, that's important.
Okay. Well,
We were just told that we would.
I mean, we're gonna rename it
I
anyways.
thought I said the name when I said you were
I've
gonna get a
never
lordship.
known the name of the town.
I would.
The first time I ever heard it was when you just said it.
I will extend my hand and say, as soon as we finish this quest, your people will always have a place in our town.
And you fellows will always have a place here if you should need it.
Jasper's gonna stand up and go, Gus, get your shit. We rolling out.
Owen will say afterwards, gentlemen, I appreciate the contest, but I'm afraid it is time for me to retire. If you would like to stay the night, you are more than welcome to. Otherwise, you are guaranteed safe travel through these lands back to whence you came.
I say thank you very much for your hospitality. It was very gracious.
He will wait on Jason just in case he has any snide stuff to do.
Yeah, we should do that.
So, Owen just offered all of you to stay for the night. You always have a place, la-di-da. Lost it.
Oh, you want me to start over? I'll just say it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to go.
You're fine. Jack is going to say thank you very much. I even forgot what I said. We're just,
Your people will always have a place in our town.
your people will always have a place in our town. Thank you very much for being such a gracious host.
I will say in all my 150 years, I've never met a more accepting group of people other than yourselves. You will always have a place here if you so desire. I bid you good day, and I welcome you to stay for the night if you so desire. You will have safe travel through these lands at any point of your choosing. You are free to come and go.
My family and my people are raised to accept everybody as they are and do not prejudge based upon rumor. If you see anybody else that looks of me, please be just as accepting of them as you were of me.
And that is a promise, sir, and I will.
Thank you.
Jasper will kind of bow to Orden and he will say, to be very honest with you, Orden, I've never been a big fan of orcs.
You would not be the first human that has told me that, sir.
And I will tell you this. You have changed my opinion for your people.
You don't like Gar?
I'm just going to kind of wave my hand at Gar. And I will tell Orden that he's changed my opinion on his people, and orcs have a newfound respect from Jasper the Ranger.
I've dealt with humans for a very long time, and I will say that you folk give me hope that we can dwell in peace. And you people make me want to go out and get to know more of your kind. Your visit has been more important than you could ever know, and I wish you very well on whatever journeys your path takes you.
I say, just be careful out there. I've run into some people that are far more opinionated than they should be.
An attitude I am far too familiar with, sir. But I thank you all the same.
And I'll tell him until we return, if you ever need our assistance, we'll be here to help you.
Yeah.
I think we should retire for the night. Let's cut here.
Real quick, I want to do Garbage's statement real quick, and he'll approach Gar because he kind of talked to each of you. He'll approach Brian Brightwood. Sir, you put up more of a challenge than any of the others in the arm wrestling. For that, you have my respect. I have never met another human who could come even close to matching me in strength. I welcome you all the same as the rest.
I say thank you, sir. I tried as hard as I could. Believe me.
And you, sir, as he looks at Gar, never before have I, Orden the Devourer, the Undying, been bested in a contest of eating and drinking. You are an impressive specimen, and I would love to see more of you here.
God, appreciate. Gar has many years doing this.
And the rude one, and he'll look at you.
What would you say? We fight sword and whatever weapon you fight with for Jasper's girl.
Child, this is not a fight you wish to take, but if you insist, I will not turn you down on my honor.
I'm going to interject, and I say, fighting is not the way to accomplish this. We have a path.
Jasper is going to stop Jack. Jasper is going to say, Zan has made his choice. He has offered the challenge. If it is accepted, we have to let Orden handle his business.
And Jack's going to just take a breath. I was hoping the night would not have violence.
I tell you what, boy, and he'll look at you, Zan. I will fight you, and here are my terms. If you win, you can have what you desire. But if I win, you will give me and mine a chance. You will seek to forgive and move on, as I have. And I will tell you your life will be better for it.
Side note, that'd be fucking awesome. Because I would, then I'd,
Side note, I say kill his little bitch ass.
Do you accept my terms?
anything goes.
Anything goes.
You see kind of a creep of a smile creep across his face. Then yes, I will free. If I fall, I will forgive your kind for all they've done to me and all they've done to you.
Then it is so. And all the orcs in the crowd, whee! Everyone's going crazy. And a circle forms. You guys are left in the middle until you decide to move to the edges.
I moved to the
I'm
edge.
totally moving to the edge.
I moved to the edge too.
Just so we're aware, I am standing on the orc side.
Yep. So am I.
Definitely.
Gar's gonna get out his war drum and just start beating a tune that sounds like a marching.
And Orden will be like, aha! And he'll point at you and like, yeah, my man. So all of the crowd starts to kind of form a circle. Orden kind of barks orders at one of the orcs, and they wander off to go collect some things. And he says something to another orc, and they go get some things. As the circle kind of forms, it's just the two of them, Zahn and Orden, left in the circle. The orcs are off retrieving, assumably, their gear.
I'm gonna walk up to Zan.
Yeah, because the crowd's just kind of, everyone's kind of getting out of the way and moving.
I'm gonna say, is this what you really want to do?
My life work, yeah.
And I'll say okay and turn around and walk away. Before I walk away, I'm gonna ask him, if you fall, would you like to come back?
No. We've talked about this.
I'm gonna say okay, and then I'll turn around and leave this time.
As the crowd's kind of starting to get really separated at this point. You've approached Jasper. You guys are by each other, but the crowd's really separated. There's a very obvious ring. Orden will kind of bark a couple more orders, and his really goofy-looking wizards, assumedly, because they're the guys chanting, kind of form an inner circle around that circle and begin kind of chanting low again. And they just do that. The orcs come back. One of them has all of Zahn's equipment that they took from him, and one of them has Orden's stuff. I imagine you don your things, and you see Orden put on a just pretty plain helmet. You know, it's kind of chewed up, and it's got a little nose piece, but it's pretty open for the most part. He puts on some pauldrons, a chest plate, and some thigh guards. Some thigh guards.
Sorry.
And then he picks up a sword. This sword looks kind of dingy. It is about 4 feet long. It is quite a long sword. It's pretty wide. It's a broadsword. And it is jet black with some rust all over it. You would have heard among the whispering and talking, because you hear everything. You would have heard him tell the orc, "Bring me the dark," is what you would have heard. And he kind of wields his sword aloft and swings it around as if it's a flimsy stick.
So with that, I will walk up to. Well, I'm already at Jasper, and I will lean over and say, after speaking with Orden as much as we have tonight, I think your best course of action is the truth. Maybe he would take the quest lighter. I mean, what we're offering him is fairly great, but maybe if he understands the fact that this woman means something to you more than the fact that she is beautiful, would sway him slightly.
Jasper's going to agree with you. He's going to say, yes, you're probably correct. Especially now that I can see that Orden is nothing of what I ever could assume an orc would be. But I do also know that he has I don't remember the words. Honor, and he has been called out.
I understand the fight thing.
This needs to play out for what it is. Otherwise, Orden will assume we're
here for that reason.
Telling him he's a little bitch. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying the fight shouldn't happen. I'm saying after this.
If
we kind of know where I kind of know where this is going to go.
I know where this is going to go too.
You guys are talking the whole crowd. Everyone's going nuts, man.
I just feel like a better approach to the situation is that you inform him of the truth and possibly state the reason you lied in the first place.
Who lied?
Well, I guess you didn't technically lie, did you?
No.
She is beautiful. But that you held back some of the truth.
Well, we need to let this play out. Well, realistically, even if this wasn't going to happen, Orden and his people would still have a place in my town.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what.
Absolutely.
And with that offer on the table, I don't have to be honest with him about why I want her.
Okay. I was just trying to...
well, because, I mean, out of character, when you offered him the trade routes and his people always having a place in our town and us telling them that his people are good, he said, she's yours.
As soon as that's done.
As soon as it's done. I don't have absolutely any reason, because he's going to get that anyway, because he did treat us with respect.
Okay, so maybe it was more along the lines of maybe he would be a little nicer. You know what I mean? If he understood that you felt that way about her.
But at the same time,
maybe.
If I didn't ask about things, if I didn't ask about it, he probably wouldn't have slapped the shit out of her.
That's true.
So, like, I completely feel like that's my fault.
Oh, okay. I understand now. So Jack is going to, in character, Jack's going to look at you and say, take everything I said as you wish. I just thought of a couple things, thought I might say them, but I agree we should let this fight play out as is. Let's watch and have a little bit of entertainment.
If somebody called my honor,
I would be in the arena.
I would be in the arena too.
And I will turn towards the fight and begin to watch.
I'll get all orcish on that shit. I'll be like,
Jack is reserved. He's totally happy, smile on his face, but he's not like, he's kind of a reserved person. He's just going to watch it play out.
Jay's about to get fucked
Give
up.
me a couple seconds, so when we enter.
Well, so, you guys are not talking?
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, the circle's completely cleared out, and all that is left is Zahn and Orden. Orden will brandish his sword aloft with one hand, a 4-foot sword. Big sword. He'll be brandishing, he'll say, so tell me,
Zan.
Well, you never gave me your name.
Oh.
You never.
No, I didn't, because I was
So
like,
tell
fuck
me-
you.
So tell me, and he'll kind of look at you, waiting for you to tell him.
The name's Zan, the Avenger.
So tell me, Zahn, is this a real fight, or should we reserve ourselves a little?
I say we fight to the death.
And it is as you wish. And he'll bring his sword up in 2 hands and step forward. Alright, guys, that's it for this week, and we will see you next time. Once again, we are Vice and Valor.